Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked where I climb the online VGC 20 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Today we're trying out a really interesting team featuring Sirfetch'd. This team was given to me by a player called Zordor, so thank you to them. You can find them on Twitter, linked in the description below. And they were able to get top 5 on the ladder. I think they were actually able to peak at number 2 with this team, which I think is super impressive. It's a rental team. Feel free to try it out yourselves. There is also a shade-on export in the description below. But as you can see, this team has a lot of interesting things. The main thing I have to point out to, first of all, of course, is the Sirfetch'd. But you have a lot of other fun things, such as Mimikyu with Protect, Sirfetch'd Primarina, which I think is just one of the strongest Pokemon in the format right now. Goodra, which we've already used a bunch, especially in the last couple of teams, but this is a different set with Citrus Berry, which I think is cool. Also has Mud Shot for speed control. And finally, to round things off, Corviknight. So, excited to give this team a try. Thank you to Zordor for providing the team. And yeah, I think to be able to place top 5 or get, second on the ladder with this is incredibly impressive. So, excited to try it out, and let's just jump into today's episode. Before we get started with today's episode, this video is sponsored by The Ridge. The Ridge creates really awesome lifestyle products ranging from phone cases to backpacks, and their most popular product is the Ridge Wallet, which you can see right here. The Ridge Wallet is a super minimalistic modern-day wallet that's able to fit up to 12 cards between these two metallic plates. There's also a clip or strap for cash here in the back, and it's super easy to use. You simply slide out your cards using this little indent here, pull out whatever you need as such, and slide back in. Since getting the Ridge Wallet, I've moved away completely from using my old wallet, and it's truly one of the best products I never knew I needed. But if you don't believe me, there are over 30,000 5-star reviews for the Ridge Wallet. There's also free shipping, free returns, and a lifetime warranty on the wallet, so feel free to buy the product. If you decide you don't like it, you can always get your money back. Right now, I'm on ridge.com/VGC. You can see all the different kind of designs and colors that the Ridge Wallet comes in. This is my favorite one. It's the carbon fiber one, which you can see at the very top, but there are other ones that are made out of titanium as well as aluminum. As you can see, it comes in all kinds of different colors and designs. The Ridge also makes some other awesome products. I currently have a phone case. This is the leather phone case for the iPhone that's made by the Ridge. And some of my other favorite products from the Ridge include their line of backpacks. Specifically, they have 2 weatherproof backpacks, which I think are super awesome. The commuter backpack, which is weatherproof, as well as the classic backpack, which is weatherproof. So, I'm a really, really big fan of the Ridge. You guys know that this is my first sponsorship that I've taken on my channel, so thank you to them for continuing to support me. And if you have any questions about the Ridge's products, feel free to reach out to me because I do truly believe in them. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you to the Ridge for supporting this channel, and let's actually get started with today's episode. Alright, we're going to find our first opponent of the day, and they have a Primarina as well, so this should be interesting, but this might be a decent game for Sirfetch'd, so let's get into things. Okay, Prim. This is really interesting. They could have Self-Shadow Sneak to activate Weakness Policy on the Dragapult, which I guess is my primary concern. We do have Life Orb Mimikyu, though, which actually really hits like a truck. There's no way to really ignore the Self-Shadow Sneak stuff. And we have to be very aware of the Ferrothorn in the back as well. That being said, we do have Flamethrower on Goodra as well as Close Combat on the Sirfetch'd. So I would like to give Sirfetch'd an attempt here, just because it's so rare to even get to use it. And it's quite good here against the Ferrothorn, the Primarina, and even kind of the Incineroar. So the approach I'm thinking of right now is, I think one popular lead with this team is Primarina and Excadrill, which seems to work out decently here, although I think Corviknight's also decent to lead with. So I'm actually thinking of Corviknight Primarina here as a lead with Sirfetch'd in the back, and the last one's between Goodra and Mimikyu. The reason I'd want Goodra specifically for Flamethrower against the Ferrothorn, but I guess it is really bad against everything else, so I'm actually going to bring Mimikyu. So my main answer against the Ferrothorn, I have 2. The first one is Body Press Corviknight, the second one is Sirfetch'd. So yeah, excited to try it out, and as always, if you guys enjoy Road to Rank, please show support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. As I've mentioned in my previous videos, this is my last official week of undergrad. I have 1 exam on Wednesday, and after that exam, I will officially be done. I technically graduate next week, but it's just super exciting because it has been quite the journey, I would say. So thank you guys for supporting me throughout all these years and for, yeah, just being part of the journey. I really appreciate it. Okay, it's going to be Dusclops and Dragapult, which definitely makes me scared of the Self-Shadow Sneak stuff. That being said, I think Prim can take it. Like, what I can do is... The question is, do you target Primarina or Corviknight? Because what I want to do is honestly just go for a Dynamax on Prim and just target down the Dragapult. I could also taunt the Dusclops. I'm sorry if I could Dynamax Corviknight, but I think I'd rather Dynamax Primarina. I could go for something like Taunt, or just double up onto the Dragapult. Because Prim should go first anyway. So yeah, I think I'm actually going to Dynamax the Primarina, go for a Starfall, and Iron Head on the Dragapult. He's going to smartly switch out Dragapult. That might be Ferrothorn? Yeah, it's a great switch. Okay, great bait by my opponent there, turn 1. I was too afraid of the weakness policy stuff. I think maybe body pressing that slot would have been better. This still isn't the end of the world because I do get guaranteed free damage onto it, but it might have been safer to have like Max Starfall than taunted into the Dusclops just to prevent it from setting up something like a Trick Room. So let's see. Because I think presumably here it's just going to go for a Trick Room. Oh, Corviknight's actually faster than Prim. Okay, I should keep that in mind. Yeah, so great awareness by my opponent to be afraid of the Primarina. Could have maxed the Ferrothorn? Or, sorry, maxed the Corviknight. But maxing Corviknight's, like, not exactly the best play, I think. I think Trick Room should go up here. So let's see. Yep. Okay, so we have Body Press. It's really not the end of the world, honestly. Like, that obviously wasn't a great turn 1, but it's not terrible either. Because, like, I mean, Ferrothorn might just be inclined to attack here. So I'm actually just going to go straight for a Body Press and a Max Geyser onto the Ferrothorn. I mean, Max Geyser is just the best attack. The Ferrothorn resists all 4 of our attacks. So it's really one of the best walls to Primarina. That's actually one of the reasons why Ferrothorn's getting a little bit more common now. So he's actually going to go for a Curse. Interesting. Okay. I'm not sure, even with the Curse, that the Ferrothorn will be able to take a Body Press and a Max Geyser. So we'll see. As Iron Head and Max Starfall did, you know, just around 50%. So, I mean, my opponent set up Trick Room, but if we KO Ferrothorn, then I think it's much less of a threat, because now you have Dragapult in the back, so you can't really bring that out until Trick Room is over. Max Geyser didn't do as much as I would have liked there. So I think, unfortunately, it will survive the Body Press. We'll see. It does have a defense boost here. If we could pick up a KO, that would be absolutely clutch right now, as, yeah, hangs on with just a little bit of HP. So my opponent will be able to basically effectively stall out my Dynamax, which is definitely a little unfortunate. Another Geyser should KO that now. There's still multiple turns of Trick Room. We have Mimikyu and Sirfetch'd in the back, which are both quite good, honestly. Yeah. I mean, I think you probably protect the Ferrothorn here. So then you stall out my Dynamax. I mean, at least I think that's what I would do. So, I mean, if I'm reading into Protect, I'd kind of want to just get as much damage off here as possible, and Geyser and Brave Bird the Dusclops. See if he protects. Oh, he actually ally switches. I mean, I guess that works. Because I end up KOing Ferrothorn. +1 Seed Bomb's going to come out. But we at least KO Ferrothorn here with Max Geyser. Okay, that's kind of funny. I was reading Protect and Dusclops to attack just to stall out my Dynamax, but okay. Yeah, I guess Ferrothorn probably actually doesn't have Protect if it has Curse. I mean, you want like Curse, Leech Seed, Seed Bomb, a Steel type attack, or Body Press. It's just tough to really fit Protect onto that move slot. So, all things considered, this wasn't the worst case. It's just that I could have gotten more off my Dynamax this game because I still think my opponent's going to have Self-Shadow Sneak. We've seen Trick Room and Ally Switch, Nightshade. So 3 of the 4 attacks confirmed, and I would be very shocked if the last one wasn't Shadow Sneak. That being said, we do have Life Orb Mimikyu in the back, so I guess my opponent could always Shadow Sneak me to break it, but it's actually going to be Incineroar coming out. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess you have to bring that out because you can't really afford to bring Dragapult right now, can you? So we're actually not in bad shape right now. The one thing we're going to want to deny, I think, is, like, I'd prefer to KO the Dusclops. I mean, here you probably fake out Nightshade Prim. Yeah. Fake out Nightshade. There's 2 turns of Trick Room, so, I mean, if I'm reading fake out Nightshade, what I want to do is just go for damage here. So, like, go for a Body Press onto Incineroar. No, I think I'd rather damage Dusclops here, yeah. So I'm going to Iron Head it. I don't want to take Recoil, and I want to switch out into Sirfetch'd. Because basically, if I knock out the Dusclops, I'll have Disguise on Mimikyu, which is really, really important in dealing with Dynamax Dragapult. Yeah. So, kind of a tricky endgame here, but I feel like you have to fake out the Prim. But maybe my opponent's like, oh, I'm so far behind, whereas my opponent's ahead. Maybe I could make a big read here. But I do think if I just give up Primarina, it's not very good for me. So Sirfetch'd comes out. He doesn't fake out. But he does just Nightshade. Okay, so he's just doubling up onto Sirfetch'd with damage, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense too. Although Prim might have survived the Darkest Lair read, honestly. I'm not sure. Okay, so Sirfetch'd takes that without much problem. Get the Iron Head off. Okay. This next turn is really interesting, right? Rain is up, Trick Room is still up, and the main thing I just don't want to happen right now is for my opponent to get Trick Room up. What they could do is actually switch the Incineroar out into Dragapult and Self-Shadow Sneak right now. So if I want to read into that, I want to maximize my damage here with like a Brave Bird onto the Incineroar. Yeah, I mean, close combat here is my best option with Sirfetch'd. We're scrappy, so we can hit Dusclops. I'm leaning towards close combating the Incineroar. And Brave Birding. Oh, I ended up targeting Dusclops. Okay, that was my bad. That's fine. He's in a Nightshade. Okay, nice. Into Corviknight. Yeah, probably expecting a Protect. Overheat. Okay, you don't see that every day. If close combat knocks out Dusclops, I think this would be very good for us. Darkest Lariat and Overheat on Incineroar. That's super interesting. Actually, even if we don't KO, it's probably better if we don't KO. Yeah, because now my opponent is just outsped by both of my Pokemon. So, like, what I can do is... I think the Incineroar switches out into the... I mean, you're going to be in a really awkward spot, right? Because if I just bring out the Prim... I think what we can do is actually just go for a double KO here. We do have Shadow Sneak on this. Actually, I guess Shadow Sneak Mimikyu is better. Yeah, because what we can do is now we've actually pinned our opponent in. We can Shadow Sneak onto the Dusclops and close combat into Incineroar, and there's pretty much no way around that. If you switch the Dusclops or the Incineroar out, you get hit by a Shadow Sneak. And I want a Shadow Sneak just so that my opponent can potentially self-Shadow Sneak to activate Weakness Policy. Well, I guess they could Ally Switch here. But if they Ally Switch, I mean, they're stuck in with Incineroar. If they have Parting Shot... Oh, they're actually going to switch Dusclops now. Okay, huge. Nice. So I think we should just KO Incineroar and we get this Life Orb Shadow Sneak on Dragapult. See how much this does. Probably 50%-ish. Yeah, just under. It is Weakness Policy. I actually should have doubled up into the Dusclops slot. If I did that, that actually just would have been game. That was actually a pretty big misplay, I think. Close combat here. Does get the one-hit KO, though. Okay, nice. Yeah, I should always target double up on Dusclops because that actually covers for the Ally Switch option as well. I mean, Dusclops very, very rarely has Protect, so by doubling up onto it, Shadow Sneak always goes off first, so close combat would target the Incineroar anyway, and then the close combat covers for the Dragapult switch-in option. So, I actually did not play that optimally, and that might have cost me. This gives my opponent a chance to get back into this now. Yeah. Although still tough, I think, because what I can do here is... I want a Shadow Sneak so he can't break my Disguise onto Dusclops, and I want to go for a... Just go for a close combat. Yeah. Because now my opponent's in a tricky spot because they have to deal with Disguise. If they break my Disguise with Dragapult, well then I just get free damage with close combat onto the Dragapult. But I think last turn was a guaranteed win if I just Shadow Sneak and close combat. And that covers every option, yeah. It even covers the Ally Switch option like I mentioned, so... It was not optimal to target the Incineroar there. Would have been better just to go for Shadow Sneak onto Dragapult as well. Or sorry, close combat onto Dragapult. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we'll knock out Dusclops here. And now the Dragapult has to knock out... Like, basically, it gets, like... It can target one slot every turn, right? But it's pretty tricky for it. It's probably going to be... Actually, opts for Phantasm onto Mimikyu. Okay, I think that should just secure us the game then. Because we get the close combat off, and now we have Shadow Sneak. Like, Dragapult just can't deal with everything at once right now. So that's exactly why I was Shadow Sneaking earlier. But once again, it would have been better to have doubled up into the Dusclops slot. Sirfetch'd was actually great for us in this game, though. Like, it did so much damage with close combat. Yeah, and that's in Shadow Sneak KO range now. Beautiful. Yeah, and we had Prim in the back as well. So not every day, like, you see, like, a Prim be able to deal with the Ferrothorn, but it was actually quite effective for us in this game. And I think the main thing that really helped us out here was that we were able to just like overwhelm our opponent with offense. So they were never in a great position to just Dynamax on turn 1. So yeah, that was a super solid first game. Very happy about that. Sirfetch'd had great coverage in this game, and we could have considered maxing it, but the thing about maxing Sirfetch'd is that it actually does less damage with Max Knuckle relative to close combat because Max Knuckle's base power is reduced. So I actually liked not maxing Sirfetch'd in this game, and yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is just with Strappy, not having a switch in into close combat is insanely good. We got that crit against Incineroar. I'm not sure how much that mattered. I'd have to do that calc, but yeah, for a solid first game. Pretty scary team from our next opponent. This kind of feels like our early meta team with like the first 4 Pokemon with Dracovish and Grimmsnarl and Braviary, but this does have Venusaur and Togedemaru, which is quite interesting. So I have to worry about speed control from Tailwind. We don't have Trick Room or Tailwind, which always makes things like a little bit interesting, but this is Lum Corviknight, so I do think Corviknight's really good here. Yeah, it's quite bulky. It's able to max Airstream. It's able to increase its defenses as well. I do like Corviknight a lot here, maybe even as a lead, because I'm not that afraid of Sleep Powders. Mold Breaker, Excadrill. Not sure how much of a fan I am of that here. Yeah, I mean, it is sashed, which I guess helps us out a little bit. But I'm leaning towards leading Corviknight. This could be a decent game for Goodra. I mean, like, I think my opponent probably maxes... You're going to max Tyranitar or Braviary a lot of the time with that team, I think. Both are physical. I mean, I want Sirfetch'd. I'm not really confident on what to lead with. I guess Prim is not bad here with Sirfetch'd in the back. I don't like Excadrill that much here. So it's between Mimikyu and Goodra. I'm going to give Goodra a shot here. I think Mimikyu does make sense, though, because of Life Orb play rough. I mean, Mimikyu is probably the safer bet, but I just want to try out Goodra here. This is like a bulky Mudshot variant, as you've seen, so we can manage some speed control through that. So I think I'll probably want to Dynamax Corviknight in this game. But, yeah. Maybe, I guess I should have asked myself what the biggest threats to Corviknight are and then surround it with things that beat it. It's going to be Venusaur Tyranitar, which I really don't mind. Which makes me... Oh, unless it's on Nerve Tyranitar. Is it on Nerve? No, okay. Is on Nerve even in the game, actually? I don't think I've seen one quite yet. Either way, because we have Lumberry, I mean, we can actually just Dynamax Airstream into Venusaur, just one-shot that. Which I think actually puts us in a really good spot. I think I probably want to switch out the Prim here. Goodra is actually a great switch in here, I think. Especially if it's a Sleep Powder going into that slot. So I think this is a pretty safe play. Yeah, Corviknight's a really interesting Pokemon where I feel like a lot of... I mean, there's so many different ways to run it as well. Like, you could run Iron Defense, right? Bulk Up. You can have Roost, Tailwind. This one actually has Taunt, which I think is a really interesting tech option. But, I mean, if we can knock out Venusaur, then it can't Sleep Powder the rest of our team. And right now, we're not really at mercy of getting hit by Sleep Powder. Once we get the Speed Boost, like, ideally, I want to get Sirfetch'd in. But right now, I didn't feel super comfortable switching it on turn 1 in case my opponent did go for a Sleep Powder onto the Primarina slot. But you can see the cool synergy between Primarina and Goodra, where I can switch in on a potential Grass-type attack and just get a boost. I mean, if Venusaur protects, that's also fine. We just get the boost. But, yeah, he's going to Sleep Powder into Corviknight, but that is why we have Lumberry. Perfect. Nice. So I just didn't want the risk of Koba Berry? Oh my god. Okay. That is a first. Did not expect that. Still takes a ton of damage, though. I feel like Goodra should outspeed this now, but if not, that could be bad. I guess that makes sense, though. If you're not running Wide Lens, you're not going to have Sash with Tyranitar, obviously. He's going to go for just Rock Slide. Okay, that's fine. A lot of damage on a Goodra. But Goodra is faster than Venusaur, which is good. Okay. I mean, Max Knuckle into Tyranitar here is super safe, right? You could activate a weakness policy. And I'm worried about Tyranitar maxing. Yeah, I mean, who are they going to max in this game? I could also actually just max Airstream Venusaur again and switch Goodra out into Sirfetch'd. I kind of like that play, actually. Mainly because I think I could use Goodra in the late game, and even if, like, I don't want Tyranitar to max and then go activate its weakness policy here. Okay. Although I don't know if Max Knuckle just KOs. Or maybe Steel Spike would... Or, no, I mean, Knuckle does more, right? But now I've got Sirfetch'd at +1 speed, too. So, I'm pretty speedy. He's just not for Rock Slide, and Corviknight actually dodges it, which is quite fortunate. Sirfetch'd resists that, doesn't take much damage. Cobra Berry Venusaur is super interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Lum is just such a good item on Corviknight. You deal with the sleep, but you can also deal with potential burns. Burnt Corviknight really doesn't do very much. Yeah, I didn't know my Corviknight Max Knuckle calc into Tyranitar. Less into Tyranitar, more into Max Tar, but I guess you probably don't Max Tyranitar there, so maybe it was safe to just have Flamethrower Max Knuckle. But I also wanted to give Sirfetch'd the speed boost because I think he can sweep through my opponent's team. So we're not in a bad spot right now. As Togedemaru comes out. Okay. That's interesting. I have Knuckle and Steel Spike. We got +2 speed with Corviknight, and we have Body Press. You probably Fake Out into the Sirfetch'd. He could max the Togedemaru, which would be crazy. I'm leaning towards Knuckling into Togedemaru, though, and just detecting here. I think that's pretty safe, because you can't Fake Out. Yeah. So it's not going to max, so I wonder who you max in this game. Tyranitar protects, okay, it's fine by me. It might be a Nuzzle into the Corviknight, though, then. Yeah, he didn't go for Fake Out. Nice play. Okay. And Knuckle almost KOs Togedemaru, but it's Sash most of the time anyway, so that's not surprising. Alright, so we have +1 speed, +1 attack on Sirfetch'd right now. And he actually nuzzled into Sirfetch'd. I think that might just be game then. What we've been able to do in the course of this match is, or 2 matches, is basically put our opponents in a really tough spot where they just can't Dynamax immediately. Yeah, we should outspeed Togedemaru. We're at +2 speed. I mean, they have no close combat switch-ins. So there's really nothing stopping me from Body Press Togedemaru and close combat Tyranitar, I think. Yeah. Cool. Alright, let's see. Tyranitar actually just opts for a double. Okay. Nice. Corviknight gets the Body Press off. Beautiful. And that should be a KO. So now it's 4v1. And we're at +2 speed with Corviknight +1 speed with the Sirfetch'd. So we're in an amazing spot. Yeah, that's the synergy between Corviknight and Sirfetch'd, actually. Being able to boost, like, having Knuckle and Max Airstream is so good. And Sirfetch'd is super strong, but it's obviously in that, like, awkward speed tier where it's not very fast at all. And so, without something like Tailwind, and I think it makes a lot of sense, right? Because the thing was, if you use Tailwind often, you're committing a move slot. I mean, this Corviknight actually originally had Tailwind, I believe, and Dracovish is the last one. Yeah, so my opponent just never had a great Pokemon to Dynamax, honestly. And I mean, they probably don't want to max here. But we have AV, Prim, and Goodra in the back. I mean, it's 4v1, so I think we should win even if this Dynamax is. So we can just Brave Bird here and close combat. Sirfetch'd has really been incredible for us in both games today, so I'm very happy about that. Yeah. So, like, one thing that we've been able to do in both the first and second game today is basically deny our opponents from even being in a position to Dynamax. And it's often very difficult to do that, but if you can snowball really quickly, like we did here. Alright, we're going to find our third opponent of the day, and they're ranked 46th on the ladder, so let's see how this goes. They have a very scary team with Primarina as well. Kind of a combination of what we went up against today. Yeah, so that's interesting. Okay, can we go 3 for 3 on Sirfetch'd? I'd like that very much. So the main setup I have to watch out for... I'm curious where the weakness policy is on this team, because Dragapult and Tyranitar could both have it. You can self Aqua Jet to activate weakness policy on Tyranitar. That's not super common, but it's a potential setup. I do think Corviknight looks very good on paper here, just to lead with. Once again. I mean, Excadrill isn't necessarily bad here. It's not great either. Especially because I feel like if I'm bringing Excadrill, I either have to make a really good case for maxing it, and I don't have a great case for maxing it here. And if I'm not maxing it, just doesn't do enough damage for me to really justify bringing it. So I think I'm just going to go with the Corviknight Prim lead, which I have kind of defaulted to. I'm going to bring Sirfetch'd. proven to be worthy today, and I think Mimikyu is the best fourth one, so Gujo doesn't really make an appearance too much today. I don't know. My opponent only has... I mean, they do have 3 special attackers, but with Redirection, Mud Bomb is not as relevant. Flamethrower is absolutely useless. I mean, yeah, I just don't think it gets good enough attacks here to justify bringing... Yeah. Like, I guess the main thing would be Dragon Pulse. We do have Thunderbolt as well, but we wouldn't really be using Flamethrower and probably not Mudshot as much, so let's see. Either way, always exciting to go up against someone that's so high up on the ladder, so let's see. I think if we win this, we also jump in the top 200, which is exciting, but yeah. If Sirfetch'd could max, that would make me very happy. But the fact that we get to bring it in every game today is already cool. It's going to be Dracovish, okay. Togekiss. Huh. Maybe this is bad. That could be Banfish's Rend. Oh man, we don't have a switch in into Banfish's Rend, do we? No, we don't. That being said, if we Dynamax, I mean, Corviknight should survive the turn. Question is, do I Airstream or Steel Spike? Steel Spike into Togekiss is super effective and gives us the defense boost. I think I'm leaning towards Steel Spike and Moonblast. This is a pretty readable play by me, though. But they also have to cover for Prim maxing. They're going to max Togekiss, which might mean max Airstream Fish's Rend. But if we get defense boosts, that's one way to deal with the Dracovish. I do think going up against opposing speed control, because our best way of managing our speed is by going for speed boosts. So when a Togekiss can match that, it becomes a little tricky. What I'm really worried about is Weakness Policy Kiss. That's not very common anymore, but I would feel like Dragapult or Tyranitar have the Weakness Policy on that team. But if it is Weakness Policy Kiss, we might be in a lot of trouble here. But I guess, I mean, if I Airstream there, that really wouldn't have done much, because their play here is always to Airstream and Fish's Rend, I would think. It's a nice lead by them. Oh no, they are Scarfish. Okay. I don't know if it maxed their... Oh, they actually maxed Flare. Wow, then Airstream would have worked out great for us there. Ah, would have worked out so well for us. I should have Airstreamed. They made that play expecting me to Steel Spike and I think KO the Dracovish. Because if I Airstream there, then I just outspeed the following turn. And at +1 speed, this team is really difficult to deal with from my opponent's side, I think. Nice Max Flare. I was definitely expecting the Max Airstream into the... And I was also just like, I kind of tunnel vision on it being Choice Band Dracovish. Now the question is, does another Max Flare KO Corviknight as Dragapult comes in? Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if we're Special Pull. It should KO us. I mean, that first one was like a 2-hit KO. We have Sirfetch'd and Mimikyu. I mean, you don't KO Primarina here, so maybe I'm content actually just Moonblasting. Like, I want to Max Guard super hard here, but the one reason I wouldn't want to is that my opponent reads it and Airstreams into the Primarina and KOs me. If I get the Moonblast off against Togekiss, that might actually be worth it. Because I have Shadow Sneak Mimikyu in the back. And if my opponent does target Primarina, we're in a great spot. So I'm just going to Steel Spike. Like, Max Guard is the safe play here. I just, like, am worried that my opponent Airstream, like, doubles up onto Primarina. Okay, yep, he was Life Orb Thunderbolt. I don't think we KO. He KOs us here, yep. So that's why I was thinking he has to double up onto Laprim, but he just ended up flaring. Ah, that's frustrating. Because if in that position, I think I would have doubled up onto Primarina. So nice play by my opponent. Not the end of the world though. Let's see how much Moonblast does here. I don't think that's going to be in Life Orb Shadow Sneak KO range. Ah, that might be the game then. I was hoping it would do a little bit more. That was a really good turn 1 Max Flare. Like, props to them. That was just a really good flare. Yeah, I don't know if Airstreaming is correct. I think it probably is. Because Corviknight's so good in this matchup, like, the one way I really lose is exactly what happened here, I think. They're just going to Thunderbolt. If Mimikyu Shadow Sneak KOs Togekiss after Max ends, that's our opportunity. Yeah, so I'm going to bring out Sirfetch'd. No, I think my opponent just wins this now, because you can just KO, like, even if I protect and I lose Prim, Life Orb Shadow Ball probably just KOs Sirfetch'd. I probably should have brought out Mimikyu then, actually. Yeah. Well played. Turn 1 just really caught me off guard. I was just fully expecting the Airstream, and I should have considered Flare. Plus, I was expecting Ban too, but that doesn't really make that much of a difference. I mean, I guess we do have our Disguise. But they're gonna Airstream us here. I think if I'm able to utilize all turns of my Dynamax... Oh my goodness, that did so much. If I'm able to utilize all my turns of Dynamax, then things are a lot better. Also, I'm pretty sure Airstream plus Steel Spike would have just KO'd Togekiss. So I guess I should always Airstream there, because the only way I lose is Flare. And I just kind of like... Yeah, I mean, Togekisses are actually running Fire-type attacks a lot more frequently once again now. Okay, if Mimikyu does KO Togekiss with Life Orb Shadow Sneak, though, there's a chance. There is a chance. I don't think it does, though. That Togekiss is going to hang on with, like, 5% if I had to guess. But if we crit it, too, there's an opportunity. So I guess I'll just close combat and Shadow Sneak here. Yeah, I was hoping Moonblast would do just a little bit more damage. I think if Togekiss was in red, it would KO. Let's see. Shadow Sneak. Ah, yeah. That was so close. But my opponent did make the correct play of Shadow Balling into Sirfetch'd, so yeah, I don't think it made a difference then. What I needed to hope for was them targeting Mimikyu, and then I KO the Dragapult, and then force the 2v1. So, well played by my opponent. Turn 1 really decided this game instantly, honestly. I also could have max guarded with the Corviknight and gone for a Moonblast onto the Dragapult, which would have forced their last Pokemon to come out. But that turn I just read them doubling into the Primarina, because they had no way to one-shot Primarina with Corviknight, or sorry, with Dragapult. Yeah, and I was like, if I max guard here and Prim KO's Dragapult, I feel like it's a bad situation for them. I also could have just Moonblasted the Dragapult. What I was setting myself up for was doing enough damage so that Togekiss would be in KO range from a Shadow Sneak. So, just a really, really smart turn 1, I think. And playing with Corviknight, since I haven't played with it that much in the format, I think one thing you always have to be very careful of is just taking a big, super effective attack on turn 1. Sure, it's pretty bulky, but especially from the special side, yeah, I mean, I just really should have considered Max Flare a little bit better. We could have Dynamaxed Prim as well, which actually, now that I think about it, could have been a pretty interesting decision because it doesn't take very much damage. So now that I think about it, I actually think maxing Prim and going for Max Starfall onto the Dracovish also would have been good. So I didn't have a super good game plan going into this. I felt like Corviknight was pretty good, and I was just really expecting the Airstream turn 1, but I could have just countered. I think the way I play that turn 1, given the leads, is that I either max Airstream into the Togekiss slot, or I just max Primarina and Starfall into the Dracovish slot. So I definitely could have played that a little bit better, and it was tough to win after turn 1. Yeah, especially because Corviknight, I mean, just wasn't going to get another attack off in that game. So, yeah, need to do better in that regard. Either way, though, a really fun set of games, so I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you did, please share support by leaving a like in the video. Thanks again to LaRidge for sponsoring today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, peace.